Hello everyone. Whoa, that's loud in my ear. How's it going? Hopefully you're going well. Do we talk any Star Wars on here? We can do. I'm not up to date with Bad Batch though, so don't spoil it. Where am I up to? Nah, because other people might not be up to that either. It was where they just ran into they just ran into the other Bad Batch clone guy that still has the chip installed, and then anyway, I'll get too sidetracked if I talk about that. G'day, first of all, to Craig Broderick. G'day, how's it going? Bring out your dead. Hopefully you're going well. Headstar81, how are you going? Always good to see you. Ed, Amy, Amelia, Raphael, Michelle, all came in very quickly when I hit the go button, so you all must have notifications on, which means that you get a great big old well done. Really appreciate that.
Cool.
And a cool as well. So that's awesome. We had one loose unit already getting out of here. That's alright. I'd prefer it before I start talking, to be honest. So if there's any other loose units that would like to be evicted, now's your time. Jonga, how's it going? Mate, Dr. Black's in the house. The doctor's here, everyone. So no worries. Eddie, how you going, mate? K, hopefully that's how you say it. Is it set? No, I think it's probably K, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong, but good day to you, K. Alright. Michelle wanted to know if I still have my saltwater tank. Nah, I moved it on a while ago in the depths of the winter because I just never really got a good way of mixing up saltwater. So I was going and collecting it with these like 25 litre jerry cans or plastic containers, and yeah, it just became a bit of a pain walking out into the water in the cold water. So opportunity came up and I sold it all on. I do still have the tank down there on the floor. I'm looking at it, but I don't really have much of a desire, to be honest, to fill it up. I think it's fairly obvious that I'm definitely a plant guy and a fish breeding guy first and foremost. So yeah, I had fun with it. I might go back to saltwater one day, but it doesn't really take my fancy like freshwater does, and that's okay. So I didn't sell everything on. What's going on here? Craig has blacklisted Coburg Aquarium. Sunday I've got a bristlenose. Was it real skinny? Sometimes bristlenoses, they can be real skinny. I think a lot of them are full of worms sometimes, so it does help to get a good old-fashioned deworming going. Although he is saying he's also got ick in his tank for the first time in 30 years, so maybe those little spots were actually ick without knowing. Although, I mean, there's plenty of reasons that they could have also had worms, and then the stress from the worms might have brought on ick. Who knows? YouTube won't let Eddie refresh his memberships. Oh, Eddie. Nah, you know, that's alright. I didn't look down on you. Anyway, yeah, whether people have a little icon next to their name or not, I'd certainly appreciate the ones that do, but I don't look down negatively on anyone that doesn't, so I understand, and that's all good. The only thing is, you just miss out on those Sunday videos, don't you? Also, I was going to cover for Jonga. He wanted to know the best cycling technique. I'm looking to get back into the hobby with the Kmart starter tank. In my experience, and I am going to test this, but it's going to be quite a while. In the next sort of 2 months, which you're not going to want to wait that long, obviously. But in the future, you can check it out for the next one. But the best cycling technique is to get some filter media off somebody that already has cycled filter media. So if you know somebody else in the hobby that lives nearby and you can just snip off a bit of sponge from their filter or something like that, that works really well. Other than that, adding fish really slowly, live plants, all that stuff really helps. I wouldn't necessarily believe those bottle bacteria that say, yeah, just put one droplet of this magical elixir in your aquarium and then load it up with 450 guppies. So just slowly let the tank do its thing. Also, the more surface area you can put in there, the better it's going to be too. So I don't know what your intentions are, how you're going to run it, but if you can fill it up with gravel or some sort of substrate and live plants, that'll go a long way. Alright, we're getting straight into things this evening. And then Dr. Black said, do we talk Star Wars in here? Kragos is on the watch. On the watch of what? Hey, Blake and... Oh, hey, Ead, how you going? Ead, nearly forgot to say hello to you. Hope you're safe and well. Thank you. Yep, here in Victoria, or Victoria, we are just out of lockdown yesterday, so that's handy, but doesn't really change my thing too much. Although, I do have, for the first time in probably 2 years, I don't know if it's 2 years, but I've got a face-to-face meeting tomorrow, just with a resident, so yeah, that'll be fun. I'll have to actually wear pants that aren't pajama pants or trackies for the first time in a long time. Nath, I've got a bunch of bristlenose from Coburg a few weeks ago. They're all fine, apart from being a bit small. Yeah, maybe they were a bit on the skinny side. Might help to deworm them anyway, Nath, in case they have been in touch with Kragos's one. Alright. Oh, Blake, you're so ahead of me. $3 dues with the rock on. Thanks, Blake 2.0. Really appreciate that. You're very generous on the super stickers. I think it does go a long way. I'm sure everyone appreciates it quite a lot. now I'm all lost. Thanks to that. What else have we got here? Kathy Dorrow's in the house as well. G'day to you. Pete Belinsky. How you going, Pete? Hey, Pete, you gonna apply for that job at Nature Aquariums? They want a full-time aquascaper. You've got the skills, Pete. Fly over. Come and join the east side over here. I reckon you'd be good at that. Chevy, how you going? No audio. Hopefully it's just you. Okay. Phew. I was like, thanks, Ed Star. I was like, oh geez, have I just been talking for 20 minutes to myself? Turn up your volume button, Eddie. Why I feel eyes on me when he says loose unit? Nah. Never annoy a funeral director. We make people disappear for a living. Yeah. Ugly Man's Reefing, how are you? Good to see you. Rio, how's it going? Oh man, I'm honoured. Everybody, Rio's in the house. We've got some royalty in here. No, I really love your videos, Rio. That's awesome. It's so cool to see you in here, actually. I'm a bit starstruck. It's K. Okay, that's fantastic. It was a massive $50 bristlenose, not the one I sent you. Oh, I don't know what's going on there. There's an LFS everywhere where every fish you get has worms. Unfortunately, he has the best fish variety and prices in town, so I just deworm them all. Yeah, I mean, it's never a bad idea anyway. To first of all visually go ahead and pick what you think is the most healthy looking fish, and then, you know, if there's something a bit questionable, you could always deworm them. I wouldn't just dump medication in the tank for no reason though. That's so cool. Aquamate saying g'day to Rio before you even say g'day to me. Ah, I see how it is. How you going, Josh? Good to see you. G'day, Mr. Chomper. How you going? That's an interesting one. Go D's. I don't know anything about that. Alright, okay. I made the DIY PVC airline tap thing. I put heater holders with the suction cups on it, and it works brilliant. Oh, fantastic. That's awesome. I know I am blushing. This is a repeat of, like, do you remember I did the Tanganyika ranking game, and I had Jason Cichlids and his cousin in there, and I was real nervous all of a sudden. That's like this. Nah, you should go check him out. Like, I've been watching Rio for quite a while. He did a video recently with like an outdoor plant immerse setup, and I have that going out here in the front yard, but obviously yeah, it's always good to get a second perspective anyway. Does a lot of rice fish stuff too, which is really interesting too. We should get some rice fish down here too, because like one of the only fish that we can actually put outdoors, especially since koi are illegal. So why don't we have more rice fish, people? I don't know. Nah, banana. Can I put different types of dwarf gouramis together with 3 angels in a 130 litre? Yeah, mostly for the accent. Fair enough. Nana banana. You can put... I don't really like that combination, to be honest. Mainly because there's so many things that can go wrong. First of all the different dwarf gouramis can fight with each other. The angelfish can fight with... The 3 angelfish, I like the number of 3. But, yeah, I don't really like the combination of angels and dwarf gouramis, personally. I just think the angels will probably very quickly eat those little feelers off the dwarf gouramis, and especially different kinds of them together. Yeah. Presume you mean, like, say for example, like a flame gourami, a powder blue gourami, and a honey gourami or something like that. In which case, I mean, you probably could, but I don't think it's really worth it. If that's... Here's the answer. If that's, like, it's like a bucket list. Like, if your hobby will never be complete unless you put multiple dwarf gouramis with angelfish, do I think that you'll drop the bag in the aquarium and instantly it'll be a Thunderdome? No, probably not. But is it going to be the most hassle-free combination? Also no. So I'll leave that up to you. I already have a honey and was looking at those other 2. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it comes down to how much you are willing to risk, really. I think I saw some rice fish at Keysborough the other day. I know that our friend Boaz in New Life Studio H2O, he sold me my Uhiki rice fish and my red and white rice fish, and I've got platinums as well. But other than that, where did I get my platinums from? I got my platinums from Coburg Aquarium, actually, online. So they are around, but they should be more around. I'm looking for rice fish. Love those tiny ponds that Rio showed on a video. Yeah, they're really cool. And they're really hardy as well. Like, I stick mine outside. I've had mine in an olive barrel pond all year down here in Geelong. And they went perfectly fine. I did bring the pond inside this year. Just, I don't really know why I did that. I guess I just felt like it at the time. But for the new house, I do plan on having a bit of a pond at the front with the rice fish in it. Question, Mr. Blake, that's me. Do you have to take extra care cleaning the ceramic on a CO2 diffuser, or are they pretty easy to clean? I'll give you a tip. If you got algae on it and all that sort of stuff, unscrew the end. I could probably... Usually I have one around here, but not at the moment. Unscrew the end, take the ceramic bit, flip it upside down, and then screw it back on. And then all that algae will die off and all that. And another thing you can do is soak it in bleach, like overnight, and then that will kill off a lot of algae and stuff as well. Just make sure that the next day, just make sure you soak it in non-scented, non-coloured or anything like that bleach. I nearly said flavoured, but anyway. And then soak it in like heavy dose of Prime or Seachem Safe or a dechlorinator, and then put it back in. A Rio and Blake collab would be awesome. Hint, hint. Alright, I'll get my plane tickets right now. So that would be pretty awesome though. I mean, I would love to go back to Japan. If people don't know, I have been to Japan a few times. I went on exchange and lived with a host family in Japan for a few months, 4 months, and they didn't speak English at all, and that was really pretty much, I learned more in that period of time. I learned I learned more Japanese in that period of time than I did in 5 years prior. So I really like the language and the place and the people, so I definitely will go back to Japan someday soon. I really want to take my kids there because that was the first place I ever went internationally, and I remember like the culture shock, I guess, of when you grow up in a small country town in Australia and then you get on a plane and fly to Japan and you land in Tokyo. I think we land, I can't remember, but it was on a school trip, so obviously I didn't have to worry about locations and all that. And yeah, it was a whole new world. It was very eye-opening. And I love traveling ever since, but obviously haven't been able to do much of it lately. Blake Howden. Alright, I need advice on moving fry. I have another batch of Banshee. Free swimming. Last time I moved them, they didn't do too well and lost them. How do I do it? Yeah, okay. So why are you moving them? I guess, do you... presumably you've taken the dad out and you think that the mum is ready to go again? Or have you left both the parents in and you think that they're going to spawn again? Epistos are pretty tricky. I'd probably, if they're not too big, I'd just get an airline tube and just... You could even get like a rigid riser, you know, like a sprinkler riser for that sort of rigidity, so you can aim it at the fry. And I'd just go... Let's go Nihongo. Let's go Nihongo. That doesn't even make sense. Let's go Japanese. Nihon ni ikimashou. That's what you mean. My accent's probably terrible now too. I need so yeah, I'd use a rigid riser and some airline tube and just sort of aim around and suck them up if you can into a container of the aquarium water. But the main thing is probably just going to be feeding them lots, like 3 times a day, combination of different foods. I found like when I was feeding them lots of times a day of microworms, then they wouldn't do really well. You'd have to like alternate between baby brine, microworms, powder food, and so on and so forth. TJ's Aussie Adventures, g'day to you. Hopefully you're going well. I'm in Queensland and people say platies are cool water, but mine struggled with the cold. My bristlenose plecos and white clouds are going great. Yeah, so the thing about platies, it's actually variatus platies that are actually cold water tolerant, but even still, yeah, I mean in Queensland you probably get away with it. But yeah, I'd go with variatus platies. The main thing that's going to be the obvious way to tell the difference is variatus are the ones kind of with shimmery scales. So they're actually some of my favorite types anyway, like sunset platies. Depends what type you got. If you got like Mickey Mouse platies or red wag platies, then they're not going to be as cold water tolerant. White clouds do love it though, and bristlenose are pretty good too. It was a school quiz show. I was on it when I was in grade 2 and won for our school. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That's pretty cool. Say hello to my wife, Paint Crazy Ola. She's a lurker. G'day, Paint Crazy Ola. You're a lurker. Nah, you do a good You do a good job to put up with Shanos and his characterisms. That was the worst English ever. I have no idea what's going on today. Anyway, welcome Paint Crazy Ola. So what do I suggest? Ari the Ick. Oh yes, good question, Craig. Biggest thing on the flowchart of we've got ick, what do we do about it? Do you have plants? Yes, no. Now, I know you have waru, but I also know you do occasionally have plants. So I'm going to guess yes. And then that rules out heat and salt, really. So, are we willing to take all of the fish out? Yes, no. Probably not. It's hard. But I have had some good success with cranking the heater up to like 31 degrees Celsius and putting in salt. I've had good success with Blue Planet Multi-Cure, although it does turn everything green. Obviously turn off your UV equipment and all that. Take out any purigen or carbon if you do use it. Those are really the two main options that I've used. UV sterilizer in the long term will help a lot because ick is a waterborne thing, so that's a good idea to prevent it, like once you think that it's mainly cured. There's paint crazy Ola. Either way, it's going to be real bad on your plants though. If it's just on a couple of fish, it might be worth separating them, putting them in a 60 litre plastic tub and doing it in there. Never knew platies could handle the cooler temps. No plants. Oh, that's easy then. Yeah, if you've got it right now, I'd put the multi-cure in. If you can get it tomorrow, I'd crank the heater up right now. Or if you can't get it for like a week, then I'd crank the heater up and put salt in. That's what I would do right now. Yeah, that's what I'd do. Yeah, I've got Mickey Mouse platies. My Peldanios are spawning like mad in the cold. Underrated fish, Peldanios. Underrated fish. Nice blue colour. I bet you they'd love that sunlight as well. I put the temp up to 30 and added salt. Perfect. Oh, I probably should have said, just in case anyone's not aware, not just normal table salt. It has to be non-iodized salt. Hopefully that hasn't created a disaster. But yeah, aquarium salt, sea salt, Himalayan pink salt, pool salt, any of the salts that doesn't have iodine in it. Alright, what can my wife do about an explosion of snails and cherry shrimp babies taking over her tank? Get yourself a loach. Nah, you can get traps and stuff if you like. You can squish them with your finger, but it's not as desirable. Why is the cherry shrimp babies an issue? Because isn't that what you want? You could, is there any fish in there? Epsom salt. Nah, Epsom salt won't do the same job, because Epsom salt is like magnesium instead of the sodium chloride, which is what you want. Yeah, API salt, perfect. So API salt is just dehydrated seawater, so that has minerals in it as well as sodium chloride. Good stuff. Can I come to you from Melbourne for some cycled media? I don't know if it would have the same desired effect, that's the only thing. Yeah. You'd have to keep it alive the whole time. It'd probably be more hassle than it's worth, really. Oh, I missed another question. Oh, I missed the background anyway. Jonga. I'm looking to start a red cherry shrimp tank with the Kmart starter tank. Any tips for me since it's pretty much my first tank in years? Alright. Yeah, well, especially cherry shrimp, again, you just really want to take it very slow, because cherry shrimp, a lot of their diet is going to be supplemented with biofilm, and you know, like when you step into a river and all the rocks are slimy and all that sort of stuff? Like that is caviar for cherry shrimp. So unfortunately, it's not something that you can just go out and chuck some in tomorrow. I think for that one, what I would suggest is, if you can, I've found that they really like circular clay aquarium soils, especially if you're going to plant it anyway. So I'd get some fluval stratum, some master soil, something like that. I'd get that in there now, because that is going to put out some ammonia, so that will help you actually cycle as well. Get yourself a nice little sponge filter, like an XY180. Plug it into a little air pump if you got one. If you keep the tank inside, you probably don't have to really keep it heated. You can put a little heater in there, 22, if you really want to. Yeah. Plants wise, what's good for cherry shrimp tanks and presumed beginners? Hairgrass. I like hairgrass because it provides a lot of shade, a lot of cover for babies as well. Although you might end up with the with Ugly Man's wife's issue of too many of paint crazy Ola's issue. What else? Rotalas are pretty good. Ludwigia repens. Anything else? Plants don't really make too much of a difference. Crypts are pretty good for beginners because they don't really take any maintaining or anything like that. Yeah. Should be a fun little tank. Okay, where did we get up to with Tank Crazyola situation? Cherry shrimp babies will get you dollars. Yeah, exactly. Sell some off. Put a little gum tree ad up, I reckon. The snails, if you can stomach it, squish them with your finger. The shrimp, chuck a little gum tree ad up or something. That's what I would do. Or have a separate tank. Get a new tank with like some loaches or rainbow fish. Anything that's going to eat snails and shrimp. And then keep that off to the side as your Cullinator 5000. They sure are beautiful. The colours of the danios when the sun hits the aquarium, spectacular. Yeah, I'm sure. I am sure. Good morning from the UK. Hello, Killjoys. Good to see you. How long before a water change? After adding the salt. Alright, so, yeah. Right now, it helps as well to take a photo right now. If the ick's real bad, especially on the what are those? Pectoral fins. Check the pectoral fins. I always find that's worse with ick. Take a photo maybe, and then I'd give the salt and heat treatment 3 days. Check on it again. If it's decreasing, then maybe do like a... If it's decreasing, I'd probably leave it, to be honest. If it's increasing, then I would do a 50% water change and redose with the salt. I reckon. That's what I'd do. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. Aqua Chimp. High from under the tank. Sure. Okay. Dave, what type of 3D printer do you use to make those items that I sell? Yeah, I've got 2 3D printers now, because I guess I have an addictive personality. I've got a Creality Ender 3 V2, and I've got a Creality CR10S Pro V2. So, yeah, the Ender 3 V2 is a real good starter. It only costs about just over $200, and big community that can help out with it, and yeah. It does help to be familiar with like AutoCAD and all that sort of stuff, which luckily that's like not exactly my profession, but in a roundabout way. Cryptolutea are the bomb. I need to get myself some more crypts. I want to do a couple more like crypt only tanks. Actually, today I was planning out the layout of the new shed again for like the millionth time. I think it's not all gonna fit. I'm trying to fit it all without an aisle and to keep an open background for video purposes, but I do think that's gonna all eventually turn into wall-to-wall racks, so we'll see. Rude and dismissive. Ended up going elsewhere. Ah, yep. Okay, Coburg Aquarium. Okay, Aquachim. I had no idea what that meant, but thanks for clarifying. Just fixing the cabinet door. Far less confusing. I had, for a minute there, I was like, what is happening with this stream? We already booted out somebody, and then we've got Aquachimp from under the tank, and then I just read from Nadia, quite rude and dismissive. I was like, what? I'm just trying to help everyone. What am I doing here? Think I missed what fish have ick. Heat is best if fish can handle. True. What fish are they? If they're scaleless fish, then yeah, half dose the salt and keep it to like 28 to 30 instead. Am I a Geelong supporter? No, definitely not. Now I'm an Essendon supporter. Mad Essendon supporter. Sad Essendon supporter. All of those things. Any new 3D printed stuff? Yeah, I can show you one thing. It might not be new to you, but it'll be new to most other people. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. This is the thing. Oh, thank you, John. I appreciate that. I was leaning into the cabinet door to get my ammonia test kit and crunch. Oh, cool. Alright. This is... I can't recall being talked to once there besides telling me how much money I owe. I'm very polite and inclusive. I do try to be. I mean, that's the whole point of all these, isn't it? Like, realistically, in terms of YouTube and stuff, like, streams don't really make sense if you're trying to grow your channel. The only reason to do streams is to engage with the audience that you have. Like, might sound a bit harsh and all that, but it's actually a good thing, because if I was only solely worried about like getting views and getting clicks and all that stuff, I would never do a live stream, because this right here takes the same amount of effort as a video that down the track might have, like, I don't know, 10 times the views or 20 times the views or something like that. So the whole point of me being here right now is just to talk with you guys, see what's going on and all that sort of stuff. Alright, so this is going to be annoying because it's green, so check it out. Magic. I've got no face. I'm going to have to turn this off. Alright, here's the magic again. We're actually ruining all the magic of green screen for 2 weeks in a row. Live streaming is just a great way to connect with people. Exactly right, and I really did miss that when we stopped doing live streams for a while there. And I did really feel very disconnected with everyone, to be honest. And that's the whole reason I started them up again. I started to think, like, why am I even doing this, you know? Spending all the time like thinking up ideas, putting it down, editing, just for, like, I don't know. I like YouTube comments as well, but it's not the same when you don't get to know the actual people behind the comments, if that makes sense. Alright, so this is my new print that I did a little while ago, but I'll give you an update on how it's going for those that have actually seen this. So it was a 2-piece print. You got this piece here, right? And it's got a little lip on the back. Have you seen this or not? I'm not really sure. Right? And then you got this graded piece here, which has a sloped area like that. And the thing is obviously these lines match up, right? So I hot glued them together like that, okay? And then this piece here where my hand is, that was inside the aquarium, and the fish would swim around on there, and I'd put egg scattering fish in there and they'd breed, and then the eggs would go in, down through the grate, fall down the ramp, go out to the back, and then on this section here, so this is the back, right, where all the eggs have just fallen, I'd put a big piece of sponge here and do like a mat and filter. So that's why there's 2 air lifts here and a airline hose, right? So I'd put the sponge there so that the eggs would stay behind and it would get the water circling through, but it didn't work very well, to be honest. It didn't work as well as the boxes that I've shown you before that carry the eggs up to a collection area at the top. It was difficult to clean. It was difficult to feed the fish because everything would get sucked down immediately. So I was having to feed like long floating foods or turn off the air, and then I'd have to remember to turn it back on after. So I wouldn't actually recommend this over the other version that I've shown you before, so that's why I haven't done a video on it. Yeah. Green screen hijinks. Shep's Aquatics is in the house. G'day, Shep. Ugly Man is in near Heathcote. Ah, interesting. Chevy is hiding people's comments. I don't know. I don't know about that. Nothing much to see yet, just testing. Yeah, it's hard to find channels if there's not like a good library of videos, even when you search for them exactly by their name. Aiden's Odd Aquariums, geez, that's creative. I thought putting an air stain on an airline when drip acclimating was clever. Yeah, thanks. I have lots of ideas, it's just some of them aren't as good as others. And that was like a crazy long print too, like at least a few days. But you gotta try it, don't you? That sounds a bit dramatic. I don't know. I do not know. Anyway, so tonight's stream, it was actually, we're more than halfway through now. But it was actually, what was it about? About game changers, aquarium related game changers. So I wanted to hear if any of you have got some game changers. I've got some game changers as well. Obviously, it's kind of a good segue, to be honest, because that egg collection container is becoming a bit of a game changer. I mean, to so easily harvest eggs daily from CPDs and emerald rasboras is just so effortless. So I have a side hang-on breeder box, right, which is also in the thumbnail of this video, which just flow comes up through an uplift and then goes through and then flows out. So every day I get a turkey baster, suck eggs out of that CPD collection thing, put it into a hang-on breeder box, and that's it. And then I just feed foods in there and there's fry. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so effortless. I mean, it's definitely up there with like having a air loop and sponge filters. I mean, you definitely, like, I just couldn't have as many aquariums as I do with all hang on the back filters or internal filters. It just wouldn't work. As it is, it's probably a fire hazard in here with all of the various cables and all that are all over the place. So I couldn't even imagine that if I had to plug 50 more things in. See ya, Aquachimp. Thanks for hanging around. Remember, never annoy a funeral director. Start an angelfish tank. What should I put it? A 65 gallon. I'd definitely put angelfish in it if it's an angelfish tank. Fresno. Do you mean? That's it. No. Do you want it to be like planted or a community tank or anything? I'd start with water and an angelfish. Otherwise. Turkey baster. Turkey baster is definitely a game changer. I use that every single day. Yeah, mainly for that egg harvesting situation, but feeding out brine shrimp. Oh, Shep's Aquatics. Big spender. He's just making it rain in here. What else have I got for you? Shep's Aquatics, welcome to level 3, my friend. I think that was fairly hyped. Thank you, sir. Hope you enjoy it. And you've got a bit of catching up to do. I know you were a member ages ago, Shep, so there's heaps of Sunday videos there for you to watch now. Your whole weekend you can spend watching me talk. That's awesome, appreciate that. Ugly man, of course. Shane's in Melbourne. Alright. What have I missed here? Drp Food is a game changer. Oh, you mean this? I don't have the new packet though. I actually need to order some more for our friend Johan, but it certainly is a game changer. Actually, speaking of aquatic food, has everybody here seen my giveaway? If so, win yourself some stuff, people. Win yourself some extreme. Oh, it's not working because of the green. Anyway, you can win yourself, I think it's about 1 kilo of extreme foods. If you just, I don't know, check out the post on Facebook or Instagram or here, YouTube, in my community tab. Alright. Okay, trying to make a community tank with angelfish. Definitely got to have rainbow fish, I reckon. Just like me. Let's actually update the background, hey? Let's get the Bashirs back again, maybe. I'd go with Bozeman Eye rainbow fish. Or Praecox rainbow fish are good too. Depends which angelfish you want too. Like if you're getting like a platinum angelfish, then maybe some turquoise rainbow fish could be a good combo, like white and blue. There's infinite possibilities. Barbs are also a good choice. I like Odessa barbs, gold barbs. Probably not tiger barbs unless you get a lot of them. But the short answer is whatever you like, get. Alright. Okay, I better run and read books to the kids. Enjoy, Nadia. Appreciate you hanging around. Angels in Frontosa. I don't think so. I will not be recommending those, John. How are you going, John? How's the middle of nowhere today? I'm going to sneeze again. There it is. Jonga, good night. Enjoy yourself, mate. Thanks for hanging out. Eddie, once I can figure out membership, I get to go past the shrimp in a bowl again. Whew. That's going full Super Saiyan. 5 bend barbs are pretty good. But they might get eaten though, don't you reckon, Shep? Like, they don't get that big. Ugly Man's Reefing. Marine Hobby has next level turkey baster called Julian's Thing. Alright, I'm definitely looking that up right now. If it's next level, we need to see this. Julian's Thing. Holy moly. What is this thing? It's like a flexible turkey baster thing. $43. Alright, I'll bring it up here on screen. I don't know if I'd be... Just let me download it. I know it's not a security risk, okay? Alright, put it there. Look at this. Oh, that's me. Look at this weird turkey baster with the tube thing. But you can't even baste too many things with it, can you? Is that for feeding corals and stuff? Is it target feeding corals? It looks a bit suspect. You wouldn't want somebody like stumbling across that, would you? played footy against Kilmore. There's some tough lads up there. What food is best for Mbuna? Low protein, high veggie. I realize a lot of food has 45% protein. What is that food? I like it. I like it a lot. It is softer. It's a softer food. The brand is alright, let me find it. African cichlid pellet. I've fed a lot of Sinking XL, but Vitalis. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. Vitalis cichlid pellet. That is what I would feed Mbuna. Really nice and soft, which means it's going to be easily digested. I like that food. I reckon it's really criminally underrated. Like, everyone these days talks about like DRP, Extreme, New Life Spectrum. It needs to be talked about more. It's extendable for feeding corals. That makes sense. Endoscape for your fish. They're as big as rosy barbs. Oh, okay. There you go. I actually took the angels out of the frontosa tank last week. Nice. My fish tank's aquatic. How you going? Good to see ya. Alright, so what other game changers can we think of? Obviously air loop system's good. Central heating. But these are kind of obvious things. What I'm thinking is like, oh, I've got one. Did I show you this last week? Did I show you the spoon? Is this ringing any bells? I can't remember. I had it here to show you, but I think I forgot. Have you seen the spoon? I think this is a bit of a game changer. Not sponsored either. I paid for this. Blake's Aquatics. My vacuum sealer was a game changer. I can bulk buy vacuum seal in small batches. I love Vital. Oh yeah, like a vacuum. Yeah. You can tell how often I'm in the kitchen, can't you? Vacuum sealer. I was like, is that like a shop vac? Is like a little dust buster? A vacuum sealer, like for storage, plastic bags and stuff. Suck the air out, seal it closed. Interesting. Very cool. Rumble's fish room is in the house. G'day, Rumble. How you going? Rumble's gonna send me a little something next week, aren't you, Rumble? If everyone hassles him, that is. So we need a good hashtag. We'll come up with it later when you leave, Rumble. We want it to be a surprise. Presuming you leave, maybe we'll be so entertaining that you don't leave. Who knows? I hope you're going well. Hope your shed's still clean. Oh, yeah, so I forgot to talk about the whole game changer. So I found this on the interwebs. It's probably overpriced a little bit. It's $28, so it's pretty expensive for a spoon. But it is also a scale. This is the first time opening it, by the way. I've been deciding if I'm going to do it as a video or not, but I think a video on a spoon is kind of lame, so I haven't ever started it yet. Comes with its own batteries, which is pretty good. Alright. It's pretty big, actually. Like, you could eat a lot of soup with this. Comes with 2 batteries, 2 AAAs. So that's good too. Needs a screwdriver. Oh, look at that. There's even a screwdriver here. Spot on, Edstar. Blake's channel is a game changer. Oh, you're making me blush. Who let Rio back in the room? I'm blushing again. Synthetic chamois kept moist in its plastic container, always ready to clean the front glass. I can't say I've ever used a chamois in my fish room, because I always thought that there was like chemicals and stuff with that whole keep it moist. I always thought there was some chemical related to that. I just used a $2 squeegee just from the like the dollar store or Bunnings or whatever. Especially if you find those squeegees that are spray bottles as well. I think I got acclimated onto a few of those. And they're pretty handy to have too, because they have a microfiber cloth on one side, so you can actually physically wipe all the dried duckweed and stuff off. Alright, how am I gonna... There we go. I'm just trying to put the batteries in. Not hanging around, I have a meeting. Okay, good, we can come up with a hilarious hashtag to hit you with tomorrow. What sort of meetings do you have at... What is it? 5 o'clock? Maybe a meeting with the El Doctor. Alright, am I gonna... Nah, I don't need to put the screws back in. Alright, so that was probably great viewing now. My new motto, put it away, don't put it down. My new motto, put it away, don't put it down. That's a good one. 0.0 again. Alright, so I put the batteries in. Let's just figure this out on the fly. Turn it on. Okay. There is a tear. Ah, okay. So since I turned it on sideways, the end must weigh 12.9 grams. Because like when you do it that way, obviously it doesn't have to hold itself up, right? And this is if I tilt it back and forth, it changes, right? But if I have it like this, I won't be able to show you. It says 13 grams. So I'll tear that back to 0. What else have we got? Mode. We've got ounces here. Grams. Ounces and grams. Alright. So then we get our DRP fish food. And like, I figure, you know, like, with fish, let me think about English for a minute. With fish food, right? Like, you'd kind of want to get it consistent, because we've got a colony of bacteria in our sponges that sustains a certain amount of waste going in and coming out. Oh, PCS meeting. Oh, fun. So you really want to keep it consistent what's going in. So I think something like this is so simple. Like, I'm not going to get out the scales. Alright, welcome Nick Jarvis. Good to have you. Good to have you. So you're not going to get the scales out, get a little container, be like, oh yeah, I've got my 9 grams of fish food, are you? But if I just fill this spoon half full with, can you see that? There, half full with, what is this, DRP 3? What is that? 9 grams. So I don't know. I think there could be a lot of uses for this. Consistent feeding, medication, obviously. Probably other things. Anyway, I liked it. So let me know what you think about that. $28 for a spoon is kind of steep though, so yeah. At least they threw in the batteries, I guess. Aquafunk, feeling funky fresh in the comments. Welcome Aquafunk. Good to see you. I probably should put the screws on the back, shouldn't I? Ah, scuffed fish tank must be in here. I love my scuffed. Oh, is that the one that I sent you, John? Your scuffed fish tank towel. I actually got a little delivery from Scuffed Fish Tank. What, 2 weeks ago? He's making Scuffed Fish Tank car air fresheners. So I've got the Scuffed Fish Tank merch hanging from the mirror. Check him out on Instagram. He's got some interesting stuff going on. Wait, watch his spoon. Yeah, could be. Still, that barkeeper's friend has been a game changer for me. Yeah, oh, that video, I was so annoyed with myself, to be honest. Like, I just totally forgot about vinegar. When I was thinking about that video, I actually thought about it, like, last week. And how I wanted to do it. And I went off and got the barkeeper's friend and all that. I can't believe I forgot vinegar. I was going to do lemon juice and vinegar. But anyway, we'll have to do it again sometime. Yeah. Alright. I don't know if you said it yet, but instant cycle products are a game changer. At least it's for me. Yeah. If they work, I do have a video coming up in a few months that I'm going to test it all, scientific wise, but they do certainly help. I've gotten through like ammonia crashes and stuff using those, especially if you don't have spare sponges just sitting around. These days usually I just have a tank with a whole bunch of sponges in it, so it's not as much of an issue. Not hanging around. Yes. Hey, what 5 Tetris species would you recommend for a warm water tank year round? 5 Tetris off the top of my head that are going to go together, presumably. Alright. I like King Tetris or Kochu Tetris. Nice blue shimmer. I like... What do we got? We got blue, so let's go with lemon Tetris. I like them. Obviously yellow coloration. I like Kerai Tetris. Nice purples. So we've got sort of yellow, blue, purple. Maybe something a bit orange. Ember Tetris make the most sense, I think. And what's that for? Maybe something a bit different. We've got yellows, oranges, purples, and blues. What's in that kind of spectrum? Maybe cardinals. Seems a bit too obvious, doesn't it? Bleeding heart Tetris. Although the pinks might sort of offset that. Red eye Tetris. Not as pretty, but just trying to think of something that might work in that sort of colour palette. Rummy nose Tetris. There you go. Alright, that's the 5th one. Rummy nose. I learnt... Oh. Alright. I learnt that the old Met tickets weighed exactly 1 gram before Mikey. Okay. Good luck fitting an ounce in there. I don't know. Yeah, not speaking the language I'm familiar with. Those pillboxes from with the days of the week have been great for when I go on holiday. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I like that. Then spill it out everywhere, turning the spoon to see the screen. That would have been funny. Unfortunately, I was coordinated on this occasion. Hey Josh, you still want the address of the pet shop in Seymour with the extreme marine food, or you want me to buy you some and send it? Ah, you're so generous.
Alright!
Gimmick spoon, just my opinion. That's alright. Scales should be flat and still, not held. Yeah, that's probably fair. There's probably like a degree of inaccuracy to it. I thought it was cool though. We need Blake's Aquatics car freshness. I don't think so. Unlikely. You can have a key ring. You can hang that from the mirror. No, I don't think I'll be doing car air freshness anytime soon. I have a lot of shirts that nobody probably knows about. my poor old shirt website. She's collecting cobwebs. Even with the prices dropped down. Well, that's alright. Whoop. Vinegar with barkeepers works great. Just make sure it's used outdoors. Yep. Skeptical on starters. Yeah, we'll see. I am a little bit too. I was thinking Pepsi Max smell. Okay, now you're talking me around. Aquasoil scented air fresheners. Tasty. Well, people do like a nice peaty scotch, I guess, so maybe they would like an Aquasoil scented thing. Rummy. Fair to Midland. Alright. Webster packs are ace for meds. Airlift, biggest game changer. That's true. Siphons and airlifts in general. We'd all struggle a lot without those, wouldn't we? Bulkheads. Bulkheads are probably a game changer as well. Yeah, it's interesting anyway. So maybe my little spoon discovery isn't necessarily a game changer, but I don't know. I think it's going to be handy anyway. until I lose it tomorrow. Can dirt and sand method be used in terracotta pots set up like your background? Yes. I don't see why not. You'd put some... I do it anyway, but put some filter floss at the bottom just so that it all doesn't come out of the hole. Yeah, it could definitely work. Yeah. Blake's jumpers are awesome and comfy. Check him out. It's, you're probably like one of the handful of people in the country that have them, so but I'll have to take your word for it. Keen to see your vid on quick start additives. I can't decide if they work or not. Yeah, I've been getting the supplies together, so I got 2 more today. Actually, I got them from my good friends. Let me do a sponsored, not sponsored. I got them from my friends at Aquarium Universe. They sent me some really cool stuff today, actually. I'm excited to show you. And yeah, they've been looking after me so well. So if you do ever need anything, sponge filters, lights, heaters, whatever, seriously, if you've probably seen him on online, but the guy's name is Ben. He's a very good guy, so yeah, there's absolutely no like deal where I have to say positive things or negative things about anything. So yeah, I really want to like make it more even. I think yeah, he's given me a lot and I want to somehow give back. So yeah, I do encourage anyone, if they need anything, get it from Aquarium Universe. And there's no gun to my head saying that either. Yeah. See you, Rumble. Jar changer is a game changer for me. I love that too. We need to pump up the jar changer as well. Yeah, good old jar changer. Hey, I thought about a cool thing as well to go with the jar changer. I was going to message Jai. I saw, let me show you. I have to find it now. But I saw a siphon that you can get started by blowing on it. Blow siphon. This probably won't come up. Blow start siphon. I'll show the picture on the screen if it comes. Yeah. I don't exactly know how it works, but you could 3D print it. That picture's not showing us anything. Basically, I think there's kind of 2 valves, and it creates pressure inside the container, which makes water come out the other side. Anyway, people are probably well familiar with this, but I've just never seen it before. I was looking at aquarium stuff to 3D print. It's not coming up with a good thing, but I feel like that's kind of the only thing that people might struggle with the jar changer. Is like, obviously once you know, you can just connect it up to your tap, turn on the tap, fill up a little bit, and then just pull the hose out, and that will start a siphon. That's good, you do know that. But other people will probably just be trying to use it like a normal gravel vac and all that sort of thing. So I thought a blow siphon might be a cool additive to it, but I might have to be a bit more prepared next week and show you. Okay, I think online shopping has been everything to my hobby. I've never been able to get into this hobby without the internet. Yeah, I mean, I was enjoying this hobby for 5 years on the internet alone before I even got a fish tank. So yeah, definitely the internet's a game changer. That's very true, very true. Yeah, and the amount of sources and stuff that are out there. I mean, the hobby is one of those things that I think most people agree that you'll never be an expert at anything. If anybody ever comes up to you and says, hey, I'm an expert at aquariums, well, punch them in the face and then walk away, because they're lying to you. Aquarium Universe has Afterpay. Dangerous. Just make sure that you use my code so that they know that you're my friends, because yeah, I want them to I want to drive traffic there, because yeah, for no other reason than I just want to help them, because they've helped me so much. And trust me, there's so much good stuff coming too. So yeah, it's gonna be good, I think. very helpful with anything you need. Yeah, I agree. And yeah, he's been so good. Like from the get-go, he reached out. I'll tell you the story because I don't think there's nothing to hide. He reached out and said, look, I'm looking to sponsor someone. We like where you're going and all that. I said, oh, thanks, appreciate that. I said, I've kind of done some stuff in the past, but it didn't really work, so I'm not really, looking for much at the moment. I kind of like doing my own thing. I can say what I want, and I just prefer that. I think anything that dilutes the truth that I can tell, I just would not want to go that way, right? Because then none of it's believable. If it's not 100% believable, then it's 0% believable, right? So he's like, yeah, it's fine, you can do whatever. And I said, alright, well, what happens if somebody sends me some food that you don't stock? He's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. He goes, what if I don't like something that you sell? He's like, yeah, you could say whatever you want. And I said, okay, well, what if somebody else comes along and wants to help me out as well? He's like, yeah, you can do whatever you want. So yeah, I was like, okay, well, look, if you're that open about it, I mean, seems pretty good. So that's kind of how I got started. Is like, I was like, how many times can I say no? Mainly because I just didn't want to be tied down, but he's not been restrictive at all. He doesn't see anything that I put out before I put it out or anything like that. So that's the best kind of thing, I think. Expert is X is an unknown quantity. Spurt is a drip under pressure. True. Ben is my local store. Well, you're lucky. I want to see the store one day. I'll have to come up your way, Shep, one day. I do have to do store tours in Sydney eventually. I know it's a bit of a detour from there, but actually it won't be happening anytime soon, will it? Gosh. Well, I don't know about you all, but seems like things have slowed down a touch, so I think it's probably a good excuse to wrap it up. We didn't really talk all that much about aquarium game changers, other than the last one I guess we'll finish up with is communities, because it's the best way to troubleshoot, isn't it? And reach out to people that, if you're having any issues that you're a bit unfamiliar with, it's always handy to do that as well. So if you can find yourself an aquarium buddy or a couple of aquarium buddies, that's always handy as well. I know that there's plenty of forums, Facebook pages, and all that sort of stuff, and yeah, that's all good too. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed yourself. I really appreciate you jumping on, having a chat with me. Look after yourselves and look after your neighbours, and other than that, I think that'll conclude another live stream. Thanks to people who signed up as members. Thanks for anyone who buys their stuff through Aquarium Universe. And other than that, I'll try and get some videos to you all, and have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.